Hi guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video. You guys may know me from TikTok or Instagram or even in real life. I tend to have a lot of people find me in real life too. So if you're from TikTok or from Instagram, I go by BPD Relatable. If you know me by name, it's Mick. So I'm just here to share with you guys my wellness journey with borderline personality disorder. Something I've struggled with a lot, and what I've come to notice with BPD is that it is, one, very stigmatized, and two, not talked about enough. It's not explained enough. It's seen as something very negative, manipulative, and abusive. It's not seen as what it actually is, which is emotional dysregulation. Emotional dysregulation is essentially we don't know how to cope with our emotions in a way an average person does. So because of our childhood, a lot of us went through childhood trauma, or even maybe they were neglected, like their parent didn't spend a lot of time with them, or your parent was an addiction, or maybe your parent chose their significant other over you, whatever it was. You never were taught how to, have a sense of autonomy because either one, they weren't around, two, you went through trauma, or three, you respond the same way that your parents do because they also struggle with emotional dysregulation. So currently I am 24. I have one son who is 15 months old. He's my whole world. And I am bettering myself every single day and trying to learn about BPD, learn about trauma and the effects on your brain and how it affects you as a person and your life and all the aspects in your life when it comes to it. I am just graduating. I'm so excited about that. And I'm just here to explain to you my journey. Maybe give you guys some hope and have you realize that just because you have a diagnosis doesn't mean that your life sucks or your life is ending or that you can't be happy or successful, because we are made out to think because we have a diagnosis that we are forever damaged, or because we have a diagnosis we can't be healthy people with boundaries or healthy relationships, and that is just so far from the fucking truth. So I want to be that person to even just, if this helps one person, I'm happy. I just want to explain, BP for what it is and give you hope that just because right now is tough, that doesn't mean that your future is going to be this hard. It doesn't mean that you can't recover. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful, because you can be everything you want to and more. But the thing with BPD is you're going to have to put a little bit more work into it than the average person will. So I want you to know that you're not damaged goods. You're worthless. You're not these things you're beating yourself up about because you have a diagnosis. You are sadly someone who went through trauma at a very young age and someone who didn't deserve to go through that trauma. And I am sorry that the trauma has impaired your ability to cope. And I'm sorry that your trauma has impaired your ability to see yourself as a successful person and not doubt every single thing that is happening in your life, to the point we can't even make decisions for ourselves. So I hope with what I explained to you guys on my channel that this will help even one person. I plan on making a lot of different subcategories about everything I experience, all the emotions, and explain it all to you guys. But first off, I will start off with how I was diagnosed. So back in 2017, I struggled a lot with my mental health. I was a very angry person. I would see red, and I was ashamed to admit that to mental health professionals, and I was also ashamed to admit that to friends and family, and only the odd person would see me act like this. Like the closest people to me. So what was a really big trigger for me was I would see red really fast. I would want to break things. I would want to hurt myself in the moment. I wouldn't remember what I said or what I did. And I felt like that was I felt like a villain. I felt so, crazy and psychotic. And I hate using those words because I don't want to stigmatize this mental health disorder at all. I don't believe in that. So I struggled a lot with that, and I went to my doctor and I explained it to him, and I'm like, I feel fucking crazy. I'm crazy, right? Like, I need help. I need help. Like, so he got me a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist asked me a million bazillion questions, and he dug right into me pretty deep. At the end of it, he diagnosed me with some things, but the main diagnosis was borderline personality disorder. Keep in mind, borderline personality disorder comes from childhood trauma. It can also come genetically, kind of. Like, what I mean by that is it's rare, but if your parent has it, you are 5 times more likely to either get traits of it or get BPD. So after I saw a psychiatrist, I was then medicated. The medicine didn't help me because I was on like a trial and error where none of the medicines seemed like they helped me, and I felt failed by it. I felt like I could never get better. I felt so down on myself, like I'm gonna be this fucked up forever. I felt like a failure, honestly. Like, the medicine didn't help at all. It can help with like certain aspects of your borderline personality disorder, like depression or anxiety. It will not help with borderline personality disorder as a whole because there's no actual medicine for that. So after that, I went about 2 years without any help. I felt like I was struggling a lot. I blogged a lot. I did a lot of things to vent about it, and I destroyed a lot of relationships in the process. After 2 years, I decided to go to dialectical behavior therapy, and I am currently still in it with one-on-one talk therapy. I would say that is your best bet. Keep in mind that if you are participating in dialectical behavior therapy, you will not see changes until you take what they're telling you, like the coping skills they're teaching you. If you don't use those like in your day-to-day life every single day, and you overanalyze everything to the point you're asking yourself if you're using these skills, you're not going to see a difference if you're not using those skills, is what I'm trying to say in a big blurb. There's a lot of skills that you're going to learn in that. And if you're not putting the work in for that, you're not going to see change. That's the thing. Like, people with borderline personality disorder have to work a little bit harder for things. We have to work a little bit harder to see the bigger picture of things because we're so fixated on what we perceive things to be, or so fixated on all the negative, because we've only known negative all of our lives. Like, a lot of our childhood was pretty negative, right? So we want to believe that everything in our life is negative. So that's how I came to my diagnosis. That's how long I went untreated. I'm now being treated, and I feel a lot more hope about my future, and I would like to say I'm pretty educated on BPD. I've learned a lot about myself. I've had a lot of self-reflection. I'm very assertive with all my moods, everything I feel on a daily basis. I know exactly what I'm feeling in that moment. I will say it. I will explain to people how I feel, but what I'm not that great with yet is getting myself back down from how I'm feeling. And that is something we're going to learn together. So I just wanted to make this to kind of, show you who I am, what I'm about, and what I'm trying to aim at getting at with my YouTube channel. If you guys have anything that you guys struggle with, please comment below and let me know what you want to see. I have a lot of, categories I want to talk about, like abandonment, loneliness, sabotaging relationships, favorite person, black and white thinking, or A and B thinking. I want to explain it all, but this is just my introduction video about who I am and everything that got me to the point of where I am today. So if you like this video, give it a good thumbs up, maybe subscribe, comment below, but I hope to see you guys at my next video. Thank you so much for watching,